Good morning. It is Monday, January 18th, 2016. This is your morning edition on I-24 News. Coming up later today, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders bash it out in the South Carolina Democratic debate. Will Democrats finally have their own primaries drama? New limited sanctions imposed on Iran by the United States shortly after Iran's compliance on the nuclear deal and the release of American prisoners. And Israeli journalist Tzur Shezaf publishes a new book on Satan's doorstep, documenting his travels on the front lines of the war on ISIS. A closer look later on the show. Good morning, I'm Yael Lavie, and today we begin, before anything else, in the West Bank. Last night, an Israeli woman was slain before her children's eyes in her home in the settlement of Otniel. Daphne Meir, a 38-year-old nurse and the mother of 6, attempted to fight off the unidentified attacker and suffered multiple stab wounds, including to her head. Large Israeli forces already dispatched to the scene, closed off the town and bulks of the West Bank. But later in the evening, the search expanded to nearby Hebron. Let's go live first to Otniel in the West Bank, where I-24 News editor Ron Friedman is standing by. Ron, good morning to you. The situation this morning?
Hi, good morning, Yael. The situation this morning is tense. We're still seeing a lot of military and security presence here in Otniel. Parts of the settlement are actually closed off now to reporters because of visits of high-ranking officials. Yesterday's event caught everybody here by surprise. It's the first of those types of events that we've witnessed. Although the West Bank, we've seen many stabbing attacks and car rammings in recent months as part of a wave of Palestinian terror attacks, but an event like the one we had here yesterday, in which an assailant entered a house, stabbed a woman who was there with her children, with 3 of her children, set the whole settlement and the country into shock. I'm actually here with one of her neighbors, Rabbi Yehuda Glick. You live next door to the victim. What can you tell us about her? What can you tell us about the attack and what's been happening here in the settlement the last few hours?
As you said, we were pretty shocked at what happened. Daphne, who was killed last night at 5 p.m. in front of her, 3 little kids. She was a nurse. She worked in the hospital in Beersheba. She was almost 40 years old. She was a mother of 6, 4 of her biological children and 2 whom she adopted 3 years ago. She was very, very close to almost everybody in the settlement, because she was, for a short time, she served as a nurse of the settlement itself, but she was very much involved. Every single week she put out an article about a different topic. It could have been lice, it could have been fertility, it could be any other topic, fattening, it could be any topic in terms of medical issues. She was very much involved in women issues, and she was very feministically active. But she was very close to everybody. She was a very warm person. And for us, it was a shock that somebody, it's still in this age, there are still people in this world who believe that to stab a woman in front of her little children and to slaughter her, that is something that is a God-willing thing. I can't believe such a thing happens. This is something that's totally anti-God in any aspect that I look at it. And therefore, we are very shocked because we definitely are people who live here in peace. Every single day, more than 1,000 Arab workers enter the settlement here. We live and try to live as much as possible in peace with our neighbors, and therefore it is definitely very shocking. As a matter of fact, many of those workers who called us up this morning and to participate in condolences, we do hope that the Arab world will condemn this act, but presently, unfortunately, the atmosphere in the Arab world today is that they actually sanctify those who slaughter people, and this is something very disturbing.
Now, the settlement here was put on lockdown for a few hours. Residents were instructed to remain in their homes. Is this something that you're used to? Is this the security situation that you live with every day?
No, this is not the situation we live with every day, but unfortunately, due to the security situation that we're in right now, we have become pretty professional. And as soon as the moment we heard that what happened, everybody was instructed to leave to stay in their houses. We divided up into different groups. Every single family was supposed to make sure that every one of the children, brothers, sisters, everyone, any representative of the family we were in contact with, make sure all the houses were that he did not run away to somewhere in the settlement. The army was checking all the backyards and all the yards of all the houses, making sure that he's not in the settlement. At 7 o'clock, we finally got the approval that we could leave their houses. But until then, there was still a threat that he may be a suspect, that he may be walking around in somewhere and continue. And now we are pretty sure he's not here inside the settlement, and therefore the military is right now inspecting and looking for him in the nearby Arab settlements.
All right, so the hunt for the assailant continues in the nearby villages. In about an hour from now, the funeral procession for Daphne May will leave for Jerusalem. Yael, back to you. We'll be updating throughout the morning.
Ron Friedman, thank you from the West Bank in the occupied territories as we move along.